Hello Sagittarius, welcome to your March reading. As always, you can use this for your sun, your rising, and also for your moon sign. If you don't know all three, you can just stick with your sun sign and you'll get the guidance that you need. Also, if you'd like to watch for someone that you love, you can of course do that with these readings as well. If you like what you see here and you'd like to support me, stick around until the end. I'll give you some information on how to do that. I'll put a little at the bottom, but I really want to get into the reading right now, so let's do that. I like to start every month with channeled information, as those of you that are returning know. But if you're brand new, let me just tell you how I get that channeled information. Every month I select a deck of cards, I meditate on that, and I see what information or signals and signs come through for you. I wrote down the word alignment, and what I was feeling in my own body was a need to for some of you, either kind of like focus on posture, possibly go and get like a chiropractic alignment, literally, or for the rest of you to focus on like resting and resetting your energy. Sometimes when you're kind of going headfirst into a task and trying to get things done, you can basically just sort of build up tension, work your body into a place where it's no longer able to channel and receive the energy. So you can work this out of your system through meditation, through getting a healing session, through just regular exercise, and of course resting and removing yourself from sort of these tasks at hand that could be pulling you off course. But I love the idea of, if I just focus on the word align, if you ever even just look at the letter G, it's almost like an arrow pointing. And that's kind of what I was seeing, was trying to find your way back to the right direction. And I think some of you might be just a little bit off path, or might be focusing on something to the left or right of you. And in my mind, I'm just seeing like this straight arrow. And as I wrote the word align, I really focused on the letter G. And here, I'll even outline it. It looks to me like an arrow. And so I want you to kind of imagine yourself going into the right place, trying to align yourself back to purpose. So that's your message for this month. It's in that space, it's in the rest, it's in the meditation that your natural ability to realign is going to happen. So make that time and know that rest is just as important as meeting a deadline, or you're burning the candle at both ends. I think that we've lost touch with the power of taking some time, taking a deep breath. More isn't always more. Okay, let's go ahead now and see what the cards have to say for this month. Quick note before I do that, the organization is going to be as such. I'm going to pull a full Celtic cross looking through this deck, and then I will use a catalyst card and then expand the forecast to look at health, wealth, love, and destiny. At this point, I like to remain quiet and just observe the energy of the cards and their placement. I'll rejoin you after all the cards have been laid out. Okay. In addition to everything in front of you, I like to pull a catalyst card as well. So let me see what your message is as far as that goes, and then we'll pull the camera up and talk about everything. Your catalyst this month is the stars, and what we have here is a beautiful archangelic entity looking like Archangel Michael to me. And of course, some of the typical messages that you would get with a star card, which is that you have a chance this month to sort of step into a larger purpose, the limelight, to try to let go and shed some of the artifice that's around you, because whatever star card I'm looking at, whether it's this beautiful sort of standing up for yourself energy that we have with this, or the sort of gentler star card that we would see in a traditional tarot deck, it is about being truthful, transparent, and again, in this case, it's about sort of being outspoken. So you have a chance this month to sort of cut through things, because this card is reversed, cut through some of the layers that you might have been building up around yourself, cocooning yourself, protecting yourself. And this is a chance to step out, to be strong, and to allow for the support of the universe, which is really why Archangel Michael is on that. So let's look at everything, and as we go through all the different pieces of the Celtic cross, I think we'll get some additional messages about alignment and protection and standing in that star energy. Your central card, Four of Wands reversed, is showing that you have the energy of friendship and support very much at your fingertips this month, but you may either be in a sort of habit of giving more to others, or there may be people around you right now that are demanding a lot of you. However, the energy of Four of Wands is nonetheless present, which is friendship, support, respect, foundational sort of building that you've been doing. And I feel like, just as we see here with Justice, very similar to the Star card, we're seeing a lot of encouragement to speak and be yourself, a lot of strength with the swords, even in the Oracle cards. So I would say it's important for you to balance the scales this month. That's what Justice does. And with the Four of Wands out of balance a little bit, this is your chance to look at relationships that are pivotal in your life and think, is this reciprocal? If it isn't, is it something that I'm doing? Is it something they're doing? This is something that needs to be fixed. And I think it's something that right now, right here, that you have to do like in the first week of the month. Let's look at what might be adding some context to the imbalance or the struggle that you might be going through. I have the Magician card in the deep past. It's in the upright position, which is favorable for you. That's showing an ability to create, to manifest. When we look at the difference between, say, the Magician and the High Priestess, the High Priestess is already a little further down that path. She knows what she can do. She's already doing it. She's more adept at maneuvering through approval processes, sort of blocks in her way. The Magician is more in the sort of incubation point where it's beginning, you can feel it, you're starting to do something with it, but you haven't yet started to execute sometimes. So I want you to take whatever it is you're trying to do, own your power, speak your mind, create the balance that you need, and also focus your energy. This card was upright, so I'm not seeing for some of you that you're too distracted, but I always think that the Magician can be amplified by putting the energy into one piece, because it's a generalist card. It's probably the most general of all the cards. You have one of every suit, which means you can kind of put your mind to anything and do something with that. So anything that you decide to focus on, you can make progress with. So pick and choose wisely, I would say. The more you spread yourself across all of these things, the less effective in any one area you'll be, if that makes sense. We have a very good beginning of the month when I'm looking at recent past here with the Prince of Wands or the Knight of Wands. I see movement when it comes to being able to get people behind you. If you're trying to convince somebody to see your point of view, if you want to get a project going, if you are interested in talking to somebody, it's more about your proactive energy and also your initiative this month. Don't wait. This is a time where you want to move forward. Sometimes you'll see something like a Hermit card, or you'll see something like a King of Pentacles in reverse, which is more about bringing things in. This is about moving and going towards what you want. If you snooze, you lose, and that's kind of the energy with this. So don't waste time. If there's something that you want to do, make it happen the first week. Activate your plans, your goals. Focus your intention, speak up, and balance things out. That's the message towards the first week. As we look towards not just the middle, but the overall energy of the month, your crowning position here is the Four of Pentacles in reverse. And for some of you, it's about getting past the idea that things are sort of a little bit stuck. I see a lot of abundance coming through because the Four of Pentacles is quickly followed up in the near future by the Queen of Pentacles. And when we look at the outcome, we have the Six of Wands. So you have a lot of good movement when it comes to success, respect, progress. But if you look closely at this card, you'll see someone that's just starting to open up their heart space, getting the keys to understanding how they can be more successful in their life. The truth is, you've always had that ability to unlock your potential, and this is what this is saying. Don't hold back anymore. Just open up your heart space, open up your mind, and access all these tools that you have. I love this Four of Pentacles because it's not showing the block here. It's showing the block is here. And so once you sort of just think, I can do what I want to do, I'm going to do this, I am creating, then all of a sudden things start to come to you. I'm also seeing a very strong earth sign energy coming in this month. The Queen of Pentacles is someone that knows people, has money, has connections, wants to support you. It's nurturing. It can be a mother, it can be an aunt, it can be a mentor at work. It doesn't have to be a woman, it can be male as well. The key element of this is that the Queen of Pentacles will come across and want to help or want to support. You may be embodying the Queen of Pentacles energy this month, which for some of you could mean pregnancy and fertility, because we see that little hare or the jackrabbit in the background. But it also means that anything, again, that you decide to put your energy into becomes fertile, grows, it goes forward, it moves. And so that's why I really want you to pay attention and put that energy into something that you care the most about. So what's the purpose this month? What are you being driven by? When I look at ego and I look at motivations here, it's the Death card reversed. The Death card in reverse is reminding you that change not only is possible, but it's going to need to happen this month. The mental image that I get when I'm meditating on that card is that you need to cut away, you need to prune, you need to remove. The sort of figurative pruning may be pruning who's around you. Or pruning sort of some of the things in front of you. There's a need to eliminate some of the noise this month so that what's left can grow. So the analogy of pruning a rose so that you can promote growth is really key. And that's what we see in the environment here. This is about planting seeds and seeing them grow. Also notice that there is space between them. They have been thinned out a little bit. And so again, less is more. I said at the beginning, more isn't always more. You could put your energy into a couple different places, but not trying to fix the world. That's going to be really key. The other thing, if we're just looking at this as an environmental sort of indication, this is really favorable. Three of Wands shows you that not only can you start to feel and taste what's coming through and as far as your goals go, you'll get an indication this month. Maybe it's a letter, maybe it's a phone call, and maybe you just start to see it happening in your body or around you. You'll see progress. So this month is marked by some sort of visible or tangible or something that you feel on the inside, some sort of progress that makes you feel better. What's necessary when we look at blocks, opportunities, hopes and fears here, we have the Seven of Wands card. With the reversal, there's a need to, one, avoid getting defensive. Or if you need to fight for something, because we talked about balance here, pick and choose very wisely. Make sure also that if you are litigating, if you have some sort of a contract negotiation, you get the best possible lawyer and representative that you can. With me pulling both a card here that looks like Archangel Michael and a Justice card, for me that indicates that some of you may have a serious sort of struggle that you have to accomplish and get through this month. I feel like you can do it with the Three of Wands, but preparation is key, representation is key, and a sort of an internal audit and a belief in what you're trying to do also key. What's the net result of all that we're looking at this month? Success. We have the Six of Wands. This is a really good card if you are looking to make a difference in the community or in the world. This is absolutely tied with service. This is also about your idea being received well by others. If you're trying to sell products, services, a good, if you're trying to publish or distribute something, this bodes well. The card was reversed, which means for some of you, you're going to need to find or fight for your particular voice and niche market. So this requires some work. For some of you, it may require an investor, because I can see that there may either be a limit in your own resources or you feel like you need some help. And so if you need help, get that help this month. And make sure if you are going to launch something like an idea or a business, you've done the proper legal research. And if necessary, perhaps getting a patent or some other sort of protection, non-disclosure, etc., etc. We're going to expand the forecast here in just a moment, but I'm being drawn to talk just a little bit more about the Death card in reverse. For some of you, there is this feeling of being a little bit stagnant. Death reversed has another meaning in the ego, and that can mean that your schedule needs to be reset. So if you're spending a lot of time sitting in front of the computer or on the telephone or sort of constantly traveling and you're like on a train or a plane or something like that, this card is speaking to the need for more action and activity in your life. So change up your routine, change up your environment a little bit as you're looking at what it is that you want to reset in your life. What I do like about death reversed is it means that you are going to make progress. If there was any place in your life that you felt stuck or you felt blocked, all of the movement this month is going to shift you away from that. The Four of Pentacles in the crowning position in particular is the big block and the big shift that you need to make. So opening up your mind, allowing for more resources, more energy, more support to come in, that's going to be really key to success. The other thing, we're going to get to health in a second here, but with the Four of Pentacles in that crowning position, sometimes that can show a blockage around the heart space, or sometimes even for some of you in the lungs. So I want you to really pay attention to health and well-being in the chest area, clearing that space out, working on stretching that when you're exercising, and if there's anything that you need to deal with as far as any pre-existing medical conditions go, again, asthma, breathing problems, heart issues, you want to pay special attention to the chest. And for those of you that are women, that can also mean making sure that you're getting proper exams to scan for things like breast cancer or anything that's irregular in that area. So focus on the chest, make sure that that area is healthy, clear, and open, and know that when you start to heal your heart chakra, do things that make you happy, speak your truth, basically open up and become the person that you're meant to be, step into the star, then you're going to naturally open up the throat, the heart, this entire area, and you'll be able to not only feel better, but also receive more blessings in your life. All right. We talked a little bit about health, but I'd like to go much deeper. So let's see what's coming through for mind, body, and spirit for this month. So we have protected by angels, and the card was reversed, but so was your catalyst. And so part of this is setting up boundaries, and for, I don't know if some of you have looked at, I think I have a protection ritual on my videos. If not, I might do it in the future, particularly for sleep. I think it was called sleep rituals or something like that, but let's talk about it right now since it's coming up. I don't know if you do this, but if you don't, you should. Before you go to bed, I'd like for you to, first of all, scan the room. It should be clear, somewhat like this space here. There shouldn't be a lot of clutter. You should be able to see the corners. The energy should be able to move. If you've thrown your clothes on the floor for a few days, if there's a bunch of books, if there's papers, take some time tonight, go through and clean your space up. Once you've done that, I also want you to look at your bedding. Have you cleaned the comforter? Have you cleaned the sheets this week or this month? If not, wash them or change them, because they hold energy, and the longer they're stagnant, the more you're holding on to what we see here, that death card in reverse. So clear your space, clear your sheets, change your mattress if it's the same mattress you've been using for like 10 years or longer. That's way too long, not just for health reasons, but for energy reasons. It's seen many relationships, it's seen many parts of your life, and you're holding energy there. Okay, so now you've cleared your space, you've cleared your bed, maybe you've changed the mattress. Once you've done that, and it doesn't all have to happen tonight, clearing your space should, but the other stuff you can do this month. I want you to start a new ritual before you go to bed. Start first with just being grateful that you got through the day. Maybe something good happened. Begin with gratitude, open your heart, because we got the Four of Pentacles. Open up to love and abundance too. Say, I'm now open to more love and abundance in all forms. And thank you for allowing me to learn all of these lessons. Then I want you to set protection. We keep getting Archangel Michael. Use Archangel Michael in your protection. He wouldn't be coming through in all these different decks unless there was a message for you. So what you can imagine is, as you're kind of laying down and relaxing, see Archangel Michael kind of wrapping his arms or his wings around your entire bedroom, because I envision these angels as being kind of like titans, larger than life. So see the wings encompassing everything, maybe even your entire house if you like, but definitely your bedroom. And say, protect me. Protect me from anything that is not of the highest light or highest good. Allow only messages from love, light, compassion, and the highest source to come through. And that will be a great way for you to have a restful sleep, for you to receive divine messages and intervention as you're sleeping. And it will put you in a place of just having this sense of solace when you slumber. And I think that's something that's going to help you. And if you don't do this regularly, you should. You should always imagine that the space is sanctified or protected. You can call in any ascended master, whether it's someone like an archangel or Jesus or Allah or Buddha or a God that you connect to in your religion. I want you to just feel the space is sanctified, elevated, and in the light. That's it. So we went a little long on that, but it's important because I keep getting all of these messages of stars and angels and light, and we got it right there in your health area. And I feel like it's connected to your sleeping patterns, okay? And protection. The other thing is, as you walk through the day, imagine that you are cloaked in light. It can be a ray of light that follows you like a spotlight. It can be literally sort of seeing yourself, again, connected with wings. It could be your own wings. It could be an angel around you. It could be an orb of light, or you could just put some other protective energy around you. There's so many shielding techniques, and maybe I'll do that in the future, how to protect yourself in your waking hours, because this is good for sleep, but I feel like you need to carry that protection all throughout your day. Work better on that. And then, of course, the rest of this is just your literal boundaries, speaking things and saying, no, I can't do this, or no, I'm not available after 8 o'clock tonight. I need to get some sleep. I'll come in early tomorrow. How about that? And if you have so many ways to speak your truth, speak boundaries, and hold people accountable to things too. You said you were going to help me. Why didn't you? Kind of put all of those boundaries down, and that's going to protect you. All right. Let's move along to wealth and see what's coming through, not only with your job and career and money opportunities, but also just your connection to self-worth and openness to all of these things in your life. So in wealth, we have a card about comfort. It's reversed. Let's go ahead and read the message here. Archangel Azrael, I am with you in your time of need, helping your heart to heal. All right, so Azrael, Zerachiel, there's a lot of different angels of death and rebirth. Even Michael can be one. But this one in particular, that's its specialty. And it's talking about your time of need, helping you heal. So I'm seeing some of you looking at a financial loss, a job loss, or a change or shift that's happening and needing to make peace with that. Even if you're in a current job, there could have been something going on where you felt like you missed an opportunity, or someone that you cared about, a boss, a mentor, etc., may have stepped out of that position and you're feeling a void. So this really ties quite directly to the death card in reverse, which is a need to rebuild. Here's what's interesting about looking at loss, or looking at that space that's left when something leaves your life. Environmentally speaking, it's creating room for growth. I like gardening. When I'm not, busy doing this or writing or seeing clients, I like to work with plants. And one thing that's important whenever you have any size garden, or even just pots like I do on my porch, you have to go through and cut out old growth. Sometimes you have to take things out and prune them or repot them, and you have to create new space. And so sometimes that's by taking out the undergrowth, the dead areas, etc. A way that you'll see this happening naturally in nature is when lightning strikes a tree in the forest and there's an area that might be cleared out because of that fire. And sometimes it's just a few trees, sometimes it's a big area. But if you go back in several months afterwards, what you'll notice is wildflowers growing, and sometimes new saplings. Some types of seeds and wildflowers actually require the heat and the clearing to happen that can only work when there's a fire, for instance. So know that any sort of loss, destruction can open things up. And I'm speaking metaphorically there in nature. I know that those of us that receive some sort of a loss from a flood, from an earthquake, from a fire, from a tornado, this type of stuff is devastating. But when we're talking sort of symbolically of, what happens when, something falls out, a job, an investment, etc., this is simply to wake us up. If we are looking at those more devastating losses, there sometimes is, what you realize in that loss is the love and support that was always around you. And that's something that I saw coming through in the cards. It reveals the kindness of humankind around you. So there's always a hidden blessing. It's harder to see when there's more that's been lost. But know this, you are loved, you are supported. And if you reach out and ask for the help this month, you'll receive that. Don't be afraid to reach out, okay? I do see this being a month of rebuilding. And for those of you that aren't in that process of clearing, etc., this card is showing that you should be trying to find joy, comfort, and satisfaction in what you're doing. And I think that's a general note no matter what. So if you aren't, it's nudging you to make that change, to leave it behind. So you're either at one end or the other of this transformation energy that's coming through. And we have so many angels that came through, and so many, I mean, there's a lot of angelic presence around you this month. Even death itself is an angel, at least the way that I read it. So I have 4 cards here showing angelic workings around you or divine intervention. Stay open, stay aware, know that you're protected. Work on those protection rituals that we're doing. Open yourself up to abundance so that whatever perceived losses that you've felt or actual losses are actually clearing, just like I mentioned, and see the new growth coming in. Meditate on that. We looked at health and wealth. Let's look at love and relationships and see what the message is there. Knowing that this isn't just about romantic relationships. It's about how you use love, how you feel love, how love is coming into your life. So this month it might be more of an external connection to love. We have service. And it says, I feel good when I can help others. So perhaps we're talking about all of this transformative energy. Perhaps you're on the outside looking in, and someone that you know or care about has gone through one of these tragedies or losses or really pivotal events that's shifting the way they feel, and they need your support. This is the time to give back, because when you do that, it absolutely opens you up to more abundance. So if you're ever, this is going to sound really strange, and it's connecting more with money than with love, but it works with both. Wherever you're feeling a deficit in your life, the way that you can kind of break through that deficit symbolically is not by pulling in and sort of becoming either a hermit or a miser or afraid. It's by opening up and thinking, I am supported. I'm going to move through this. I'm going to have more than enough. And so with love, since this is in love, it's by giving a little bit more of your time, of your love, of your affection. And it doesn't have to be romantically. In this case, it's about maybe volunteering at a hospital or a food drive, or spending some time going through your house and deciding that we're talking about decluttering. You could give away some of that stuff to Goodwill or to some sort of charity that you feel aligned to. It's this symbolic giving. It doesn't require money. It just requires something in your heart, because that's a resource to love, time, and energy. If you donate a little bit of that into the universe, it requires very little effort on your part and no money on your part. It will open you up to love, abundance, resources, and money as well. So just know that your time, your affection, your energy, it's infectious. And when you give a little bit, you receive a lot more back, okay? So always sort of be in that flow, and the universe will repay that. But again, I want to stress that if you are suffering like with a budget issue or tangible loss of material and resources, all that's necessary is to sort of reach out and connect with people around you, love them, and let them love you back. And you'll receive that support then. But if you sort of close off and you don't talk and you feel like you're either ashamed or sad or just kind of broken and you can't let that abundance come back in, that's the block that you want to work on this month. And I think that you might be pleasantly surprised by what opportunities are around you if you let it in. Again, both in love and in money. And that's interesting. We just got a volunteer for the Destiny card, so I'm going to stick with it. So we were just talking about this spiral, and this is about kind of like changing that spiral in the positive direction and knowing that perception is reality. And you notice that there's this very much sort of magician-like energy with it. Both of these cards are connected to the possibility of creation. So I want you to get back into the flow of creating this month and get out of cycles that don't feel good, and know that you can change things around. You have the power to do so. Let's go ahead and review everything, and then we'll wrap up this reading. Your channeled information this month, as we pay attention again to this arrow, is to fix alignment, to rest, to reset, and if there's anything that's broken in your life, to start to make the changes necessary to bring that into a better place. We had a lot of angelic energy that came in. The first one was Archangel Michael with the stars here, saying, be in your truth, speak your truth, know that you're protected, and protect yourself. In fact, as we looked at the centermost cards, there was this sense that you've done a good job with your foundational building of friends, of anything that you're working on, but you needed to achieve better balance in it, either by speaking up for yourself or creating better limits. Deep past and actually your destiny card mirror one another. We have two cards that are showing the same sort of magician energy, slightly different iterations of both. Remember, you can do anything that you set your mind to. So set your mind to what you most want to see the change in, and know that that can happen. There is an energy this month that wants to move you forward. So if you were feeling stuck, and we see that in the ego, that's not going to last for long, especially if you start to allow your mind to shift towards the possibilities. Take the action. Don't wait this month, even if that action is asking for help. Expand your heart. Know that the way to attract more love, more money, more resources, more opportunity for many of you is this sort of energy of giving some of your time, some of your love, some of your energy. Feels like things will start to shift towards the positive with respect to money and opportunities. So know that whatever perceived losses or actual losses are going on, they're there to help position you towards something that's more satisfactory for you. The main energy this month is that of transformation, getting unstuck, changing routines, and again, whether it's by choice or by divine intervention, some of you are being shifted into new things. Growth is what I see here, especially for the next quarter of the year. So it's looking like there's going to be 2 or 3 months of sustained growth after this. Pick and choose your battles this month. Pick and choose your advocates as well, whoever's going to litigate on your behalf. There's a lot of energy that wants to support you. Don't be afraid to ask for that support too. This isn't a month to be subtle, to be shy, or to hold back. As we review your health message this month, the main idea of this is clear your space, clear your thoughts, stand up for yourself. A lot of the same energy that we saw in the catalyst came through in your health. And we're looking at wealth, again, changing, clearing, working on things that actually make you happy as well, all important. Again, we've talked to a great degree about how you can shift from the Four of Pentacles to the Queen of Pentacles, and that's through a little bit of giving. And finally, knowing that you have the power to make changes happen. You've always had those powers and that energy. Allow it to now come through. Most of your cards are upright, but there are a lot of reversals in the expanded forecast. So the key for you to sort of find that alignment, I think, is a mental sort of shift. Once you've made the shift internally, everything else will start to happen externally. So that brings our monthly reading to a close. Some very powerful messages for all of you this month. I hope that this gave you what you need to navigate and to sort of be your compass for the month. But if you ever want to talk a little bit more specifically about changes, decisions, and things going on in your life, I'd be honored to do that for you. You can check out the first link. It's going to be the first card here and the first link below the video, and that will take you to my booking site. From there, you can look at rates and availability. If that makes sense for you, great. If not, there's another way that you can give back, support, and participate in this channel, and that is through Patreon or a one-time donation. So the second card and the second link is going to take you to my booking site or to Patreon, depending on what you want to do. And with Patreon, you can donate $1 a month, less than the price of coffee. Really goes back into allowing me to buy supplies and, more importantly, set up the time here. So if you want to do that, thank you so much. It really does make a difference. And even if you can just do $1 for the whole year, that's also really impactful. The third way is open for everyone. As we saw, there's some of you might be going through a change in your life where that's not feasible because you're really trying to make everything happen. So share this with someone that you care about. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, opt into notifications, and join me on social media. Any one or all of these will help spread the word, which is something that I really hope that I can do here. I want to bring this message of hope, self-empowerment to as many people as possible. So if you can be a part of that, that means a lot to me. Finally, and most importantly, the overarching message for you this month is one of hope and empowerment. You have the ability to make change happen. You have support as well. This is a month of important shifts for you. Some of those may be subtle, some may be very direct. The important thing, however, is that you always have the power to change, to manifest, and to take yourself in the direction that you feel drawn to. So this month is about resetting. If you can get ahead of this curve, perhaps towards the beginning of the month, and make some of the changes, the death card could be very subtle. If you wait, it could, in later months kind of manifest more as a tower event. So take advantage of this energy this month to change things. And if you haven't had something radical happen, you can get ahead of that and make the necessary changes now and have a wonderful 2019. That's the purpose. That's why we show up each month. Thank you for continuing to do work on yourself. I like to envision this planet as one that is continuing to light up with light workers like you. I've been talking this month of kind of, if you were to go outside of our planet and look at it at night, looking at all the twinkling cities, I think all of your souls are like that, resplendent light on the planet in the darkness. And if we keep shining brighter, this whole planet will glow. So keep doing the work on yourself, keep connecting and sharing this with others. And thank you for allowing me to be a part of your journey. Wishing you love, light, and success now and always. I'll see you again next month.